Hi, I'm Patrick.
And I'm Liv.
And this is the Mach-E vlog. Today we are at the LA Auto Show and we are now checking out VinFast, which is a Vietnamese company that just announced yesterday 2 different electric cars that are coming to the US. Over this shoulder is the VF e35, which is a 5-seater SUV. Over on this side is the VF e36. They really got to work on these names, I think.
Yeah.
But it's a 3-row, 7-seater SUV. And there are some differences between the two. I believe this one goes from 285 up to 317 mile range, has 420 horsepower, 0 to 60, I think in 5.5 seconds. The one over here is a little bit bigger, has 402 horsepower. The range goes from 300 miles up to 422, depending on what battery you pick, and does 0 to 60 in 6.5 seconds. So a little bit of difference as far as performance and battery range, but they have a lot of the same design elements in the front. Of course, one has an extra row in the back.
So let's go look at them up close. I personally think that this one actually looks a little more like a traditional car. Something that you've seen us deal with before is the door handles. These are very, very typical. They're standing out already. There's nothing that you have to fiddle with or mess with, and there's actually a recess for your fingers, which I think is very nice ergonomically, which you know is a big thing that I'm a stickler about.
And this is the only one that we can sort of look at the interior, but we're not allowed to get in. But the other one doesn't have a complete interior yet. Again, one of the things that I will note is the charge port is in the same place as in the Mach-E. A lot of EV manufacturers tend to put them in different locations. The Mach-E, as well as the Mullen or the Fisker Ocean, they have theirs up here in the same location. Somebody pointed out to me, and I didn't realize this, but that's actually a good location for the charge port, because if you are in a fender bender, front or rear, if it's outside of the wheel well, then it's more likely to be damaged. So that's actually a good spot for where it won't be damaged. Some other things to note, I mean, it has a typical like glass roof. You can see up on the big screen on right there. You can see the glass roof option, bigger glass roof option on the VF e36.
I think it's interesting that there's a step. This is not a particularly tall car or high car, but if you are shorter or have any issues, that's kind of interesting. I'm not sure how weight bearing it is. So many people are filming. So we're going to step away from this vehicle and take you to look at the other one right now.
We're going to go work on the VF e36.
As we mentioned the handles on the 35, as you can see, the handles on this one are slightly more unique, less traditional vehicle and a little more unique in EV style. We still have the step over here, which is interesting.
And you can see toward the rear, it extends out a little bit more. That's if you can't really see inside, they won't let us get inside, but that's for the third row. So it's a bit of a bigger SUV on this one. Inside, of course, it has the big screen. Again, this is just sort of a model on this one, so you really cannot get an idea of what this one's really going to look like.
It's filled up with black water.
Yeah, it looks like. Yeah, it's like been flooded with black carpeting. But
it's actually kind of cool.
We don't know. We haven't been able to look to see if it has much of a frunk or anything like that. So still very early on. They are saying that they will open up orders in spring of 2022, and they expect to have deliveries in the US in late 2022. So it's a sort of an optimistic timeline, it seems, for seeing a vehicle that doesn't have like the full interior to say that they're going to be able to get them produced within a year. But who knows? They are a Vietnamese company, a large Vietnamese company, from what I understand, and they've been making cars since 2017. I think they've sold like 30,000 cars in Vietnam. They're building out a charging infrastructure in Vietnam as well. So that's very cool. But they're entering the US market next year. So this is going to be an exciting time for them. And it's nice to see, more cars coming here and more EVs, of course.
And my concern with these door handles over here is if it's anything like the Model Y that we experienced.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's like a press your thumb in and grab it sort of thing, or press the other side, grab it. I don't know. I'd be really interested to see.
Or it could be like the Model S where it'll come out
which
for
would
you.
be all right. That would be all right. So I'm interested.
One aero thing that I think is neat is it has a relatively large front end, but it looks like there is a air tunnel that goes up through the hood that I would assume would help with the aerodynamics of the car. Of course, it will cut into how much front capacity you have, but that's a neat way of dealing with having such a large front end.
And I believe that this lighting aesthetic, the V, is present on both the 36 and the 35.
I think so.
Which is quite pretty. I like it.
Let's keep going around, check out any other neat features. As I said, charge port toward the front in a safe spot. And who knows, it might be that different trim levels, I don't know if maybe it varies based on model or based on trim level with the door handles. But this is a very boxy feeling design back here compared to the other one that has sort of a little bit more of the Mach-E feel.
And interestingly, we have this entire window here. So we have the two traditional windows, and then there's that space that normally is for our C-pillar window, but instead we have this sort of rear add-on chunk of space, which is kind of interesting.
And if you drive SUVs, you're probably familiar with this type of look and feel. You see backup camera here. I don't know if there's another one down here, but you see some of the radar sensors. So I'm assuming has some driver assist function.
And echo lighting feature, this V curvature, which you can also see on the 35 over there.
So overall, I think after looking at the Fisker and Mullen, it looks like these are more just functional SUVs. I think Fisker and Mullen are going with some sort of fancier details, fancier paint jobs. I think both of these paint jobs look very like a traditional car manufacturer color, not going too outlandish with their color choices or design elements. I think it's going to be probably, I haven't found any pricing information. If so, I'll pop that up now and put it down in the description. I haven't found any yet of what they estimate these will start at or go up to, but they're coming from Vietnam. I'm assuming they're entering the US market to be competitive. So I would expect 50 to 60,000. This one's probably a bit higher because it's a bigger SUV, but very, very cool to see them here. And I'm looking forward to seeing the development of their company here in the United States. That's the two brand new VinFast models. What do you guys think? I know for me, they look, as I've been saying multiple times, very traditional, but if they come in at a good price point with the range up to 422 miles, that sounds very impressive. We'll have to see what technology they include. But what do you think?
It's difficult because I'm so impacted by seeing myself in the vehicle, imagining what it's like to touch stuff, seeing if there are two cup holders on side by side. So I don't feel like I can get the best judge of this one if I can't look on the inside, if I can't even get a glimpse. Like even the Mullen, we were able to sort of peek. So I'll hold my thoughts. But I mean, I think like you said, it looks like a traditional vehicle.
Yeah.
Both of them, even the 35, looks somewhat traditional. So.
And it's hard to remember, like we're here at an auto show, we saw some exciting previews, we've seen some concept cars like the Hyundai 7. So looking at some of the concepts and some of the flashy, glitzy stuff, it's hard to remember that when you are car shopping, sometimes you're looking over a function, form, and does it fit all the passengers that you need? And of course, for most of us, 9 out of 10 of us, I'd say, we're concerned about the price. So that'll be a big deciding factor. But I like what I see so far, and hopefully we'll get a lot more info in the next 2 or 3 months.
Yeah. Anyways, thanks for hanging out with us for this look at the VinFast offerings, the 35 and 36. Let us know what you think down below. Would you like one of these? Do you like how they look? What's the deal?
And if you've seen our other videos, we're not sure when we're getting them all out. Let us know which is your favorite of the LA Auto Show new SUVs, EV SUVs that have been released. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We are a Mach-E focused channel, but we cover other EV stuff, obviously, and we'd like to have you along for the ride.
And on that note, please do let us know what you think of our new tagline, being, whatever you drive, enjoy the ride. Bye.
Bye.